Now let's think about external validity. With internal validity, we were asking, are there other explanations for what was happening? With external validity, we're saying, who else could this be applying to? So we're going to ask questions like, can the association be generalized to other groups? So who are the participants? If the participants are rats, to whom can we generalize to? Can we generalize to humans? Yes or no? How were the participants selected? Are they somehow representative? Are they, is there some sort of sampling problem or non-probability or, problem that as we were talking about in the last chapter? And finally, who can we really generalize to and who not? Slightly different kind of question than who were the participants. External validity can be very important depending on what our questions are. So in this particular case, we have two different samples. Let's say, I think this is perhaps men and women, and that the size of the MTL is different or thicker for this group on average than this group, but the correlation is similar. And so one of the things that we might want to do is use this as an example of, or use this in terms of thinking about what's happening with sitting in general, and does that really differ for young and older adults? Is it the same kind of situation or something different? In the last case, we probably didn't have a moderating variable, but in this case, and we've talked about Pittsburgh before, where we have a negative correlation, a fairly weak negative correlation between attendance and percentage of wins. But that in Arizona, that correlation is positive and stronger. And so in this case, the moderating variable is the city. And specifically, cities with low residential mobility tend to have more commitment to a team and stick with them regardless of what's going on than cities where there's high residential mobility, as in the Arizona teams. We see this moderating variable in text, in teen texting, that the relationship for women or for girls is fairly strong, negative 0.34. For boys, not so strong, negative 0.08, very weak correlation. And so it's important to pay attention to the effect of this moderating variable on the overall correlation. Here we're looking at, texting and academic adjustment. Finally, if we're looking at life satisfaction versus butter supply, we're going to say that there is a third variable. We may want to say that there is a third variable problem. And so you might think about a study that would allow you to make that claim, the causal claim, that eating butter makes us happier. So go back and think about our three variables or three criteria: covariance, temporal precedence, and internal validity. And how might we be able to separate those out? Now, let's say that you demonstrated that eating butter makes us happier, but you also noted that gender moderated this relationship. What we're saying here is that perhaps there is a stronger relationship for men than for women. Okay. We're going to continue talking about moderation over the course of the semester, as this is a really important kind of idea. But with this, I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll move to chapter 9. Take care.